And welcome back to another video. I thought I'd just do a quick video on the Discus setup. Seems it's working really well. A few people have asked random questions and I keep adding it to my fish room videos, so I thought I will go through the basics again in just one video. That way, yeah, it's all in one place. So if you haven't seen these before, these are 100-litre tanks. It's roughly 60 centimeters by 50 centimeters by about 45 centimeters or 50 centimeters, give or take, but roughly 100 litres each. They are connected up to a sump, and the sump is just a standard 4-foot tank, so another 250 litres, but it's only really half full. I have some filter floss there. I have a return pump there, which I'll go through that in a second. And I have this Dymax canister filter, which I'm trialing. It seems to be working super well. The reason this is on this system is this was already cycled. It was on my Discus quarantine tank, and yeah, it's just an easy way of just transferring the bacteria, and it's just an in and an out. And the really cool thing with these is they've got a little button, so you push the button and it automatically siphons the air out and the water in. I know, crazy stuff. That is not actually the filtration of this tank, but it is obviously helping at the moment. Main filtration is this thing stuck to the wall, which is an Evolution Aqua Tempest filter, which is K1 media, but that is still cycling. It is starting to turn that browny sort of color. Once it's fully established, it will just circulate gently in there. But I think I've got about 4,000 litres. I'm guessing 4,000 litres. I think my pump is a 5,000 litre Delua pump, which is that thing there. And we're on only on 14 out of 20. So yeah, it's got 20 different power settings to it. So maybe even less than what I'm thinking. But the water is pumping through this pipe here into this. And yeah, I'm not terribly happy with these filters, I got to admit, because they have stupid little brackets to clip it onto the wall or the side of a pond. They're designed for koi ponds, but yeah, it needs a better bracket or a stand. I'm sure people have 3D printed stands for them, but it's pretty rubbish otherwise. My power board is just dangling there because that's really sensible. I know, I need to attach it to the wall up there. I haven't done that. Yeah, nothing is really staged for any of my videos, as you can tell. There's Benji. Don't play in the water, Benji. Don't eat things off the floor, my goodness. Anyway, temperature-wise, we're hovering about 28 degrees Celsius, which is lots of Fahrenheit because Discus like it warm. And yeah, that is pretty much the basics. The water is pumping through this, going through the media, and then pumping back up this little pipe here, just to some poly pipe and yeah, PVC pipe, and it's just pumping back up the top. So really straightforward. My first pair of Discus, their eggs have hatched. This is their first time, and their fry are just about free swimming. So there is Dad there tending the fry, so he'll make sure they're all okay, move them around. If they sort of wiggle and fall to the ground, he will pick them up, put them back in there. And the really awesome thing with Discus is the actual fry feed off the slime coating on the parents. So once they're free swimming, yeah, they've got like probably about a month, I'm gonna say about a month or so. It's probably been about 15 years since I've bred Discus. A month of eating or grazing off the sides of the parents, which produces slime. And yeah, then they'll eat baby brine shrimp and stuff like that. But let's zoom in why the parents aren't right there. Those are the babies. How cool is that? There's Mum. Now, I don't want to disturb them too much because I'm right in their face. They're going to freak out and eat them. Now, this system, I was going to have all my overflows like that, but they actually bred within a week of putting them in the system, and I hadn't finished the system. Whoops. So, actually, you can see the hump on that male's head there. See the sort of brow ridge type thing? That's how you tell a male from a female without vent sexing them and stuff like that, which no one's got time for that. And that dough type thing is just a breeding cone, which is designed for them to breed on. They lay their eggs on that, and the eggs drop off. They fall down there and wiggle, and then the parents can pick them up and pop them back in. Now, I've temporarily just dumped a sponge on my overflow. So if that actually completely overflows, it's still going to be safe, but that's just going to stop the fry from going to the next tank. Because my whole idea was to have a little heater and a little sponge filter or just an air stone in each one of these tanks. So when they spawn, I can turn off the tank, but they spawn so quickly, I didn't even have time to finish the setup. So I know, isn't that great? So I don't want to disturb them by stuffing around in their tank. It was bad enough putting that sponge on top of there. So I'm just going to walk away from them. The second pair to lay eggs were these turquoise, and yeah, they laid eggs, so the next day they ate them. Now, I thought they ate them, but they are still acting like there are eggs on the other side of that. I know, whoever designed those should have probably made it look a little bit more fish-like and not plug-like. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they have spawned on the back of that and eaten most of the eggs, but I think there's still a few there. Now, this pair here, this was the third pair to pair up. And they are tiny. They are red melon discus. I've actually got some bigger ones in this down here, in this grow up down here. But these two decided they liked each other. And that's the boy there. Again, slight hump to his forehead. And there's the girl there. And their little spawning tubes are actually almost down, which is ridiculous because they're tiny. And if I put my hand there, you can see how small they are. So I ran out of plugs, so I've got a little terracotta thing on a side there, so if they do want to spawn, they can spawn there. But the fourth pair have laid eggs this morning, so I don't know if they're going to eat their eggs or not. Dad is a really cool motley bluey white one. That's Dad down there. Now, I actually got him and he was almost dead in the bag because the bag had deflated. He wasn't swimming properly. That was about 2 weeks ago. And yeah, he survived, luckily. And this girl here, who was originally paired up with the turquoise in there, I decided not to pair those up because, yeah, turquoise cross that is going to probably be ugly discus. So she's paired up with him, which is probably going to be ugly discus. But there are their eggs that they've laid overnight. Yeah, so we'll see if they survive or not. Hopefully they will, but that is my 4 pairs of discus. Now, as soon as I get fry out of all of them, I'm going to keep those ones, and then all the rest of them are going to be for sale. Yeah, I only wanted 4 pairs of discus. I kind of wanted a few other different colours, but hey, it is what it is. I might keep 5, I might, you know. But I wanted these 4 tanks down the bottom to be just grow out. So when the fry are big enough, I can transfer the parents down or the fry down, whatever's easiest at the time, and it's still the same water quality. And talking about water quality, I have 90% RO in this system, so it is very low TDS. pH is about 6 or so. Low mineral content. If you have high mineral content, you don't get many fry survive, but also, if it's their first time, you don't get many fry survive as well. So usually they'll eat their eggs about 5 or 6 times, but this pair, absolutely bizarre how they haven't done that. So there is pretty much high hopes, probably 90% hope now, that they will look after those and they'll know what to do. But worst comes to worst, if they eat their fry or their eggs, 2 weeks later they tend to breed again. So that is all the discus up there. Down here I have a pair of German blue rams. There's their fry there. Now I've got a lot of detritus and stuff on the bottom, mainly for the fry to peck at because the fry is so small, they're not eating microworms and they're not eating baby brine shrimp. And because I work 24 hours a day, I don't really have time to baby them and that. So yeah, I think these fry are probably about 6 or 7 days old at the moment, doing their thing. And again, I've just stuck a sponge over the overflow. That's it. Yeah, so the fry are not going to go through that. There's happy parents. Usually I'll have diver fish in here to stop them some sort of attacking each other. But there is mum, there is dad, not liking me filming them, so we're going to sort of back off a little bit. Obviously discus in here. I might get another pair or 2 out of those, but I think most of these are going to be for sale in the next month or so. And in here I have my peppermint colony. I have not bred peppermint bristlenose for ages, and for ages probably meaning 6 or 7 years. And yeah, a couple of girls are fat with eggs, so they have the same sort of requirements as discus, soft warm water, so they will hopefully spawn soon. And in here I have a pair of Nanochromis. There they are. So yeah, they are completely hiding, you won't be able to see them. But same, well, we zoomed in too much, but same sort of thing. They're just in there at the moment because they like the soft acidic water and high temperature. They'll breed all the way down to a ridiculous pH, like I think it's 4.5 or something stupid, and above 6.5 their eggs and fry don't really survive, which Brings us to why they're in there, because they did spawn, and I got eggs. When did I get eggs? I think about 3 weeks ago, but the fry didn't survive. But it was their first time too, so they probably just ate them. Anyway, a quick update on the Discus system, and it is working. Yeah, exciting stuff, and yeah, it's kind of fun. A lot of people freak out about Discus because, you know, they just don't realize how to keep them, I suppose. But really warm water, soft acidic water, get yourself a reverse osmosis system, and yeah, they will go perfectly fine. Check your water. I just test the water once a week. I'm kind of a little bit slack, even though I do, you know, like to test water. Once a week is enough. Top up with pure RO water because, yeah, I don't have lids on this system and we're losing a lot of water from the evaporation. Anyway, any questions or comments, comment down below. I expect those Discus to eat their fry, these ones to eat their eggs, but hopefully in a couple of months we'll start growing up some batches of Discus, and that'll be exciting. Anyway, see you in the next video. If you've got any questions, comment down below, as I said. And thank you very much to all my members. If you want to be a channel member, click the membery thing. You get extra videos and all that wonderful stuff, and a discount in my store. Hurrah!